Hello YouTube, and welcome to my 2.5-year ownership review of my Tiger 800. This should have been a 2-year review, but it's kind of, I got a bit overdue and distracted and things, and it's now 2.5 years thereabouts, so we'll call it that. So, 2.5 years later, after buying this, it's all paid off. It's now 100% mine, which I'm very happy about. So, a few additions to last time. I can't remember what sort of shape it was in last time, so let's have just a general walk around and show you whatever extras have been put on. We'll start with the top box. Obviously, I think you probably all know about that now. It's been seen in many videos. We've got all the stickers on there with plenty of space for more. See anybody you like? There's loads of people on there. So yeah, top box, much better than the original one that came with it, which was the big GV one. I much prefer this Trekker 42-litre one, square. It's just better. We have the Arrow exhaust. I can't remember if that was on there on my last review. I think it was. Additionally, I think we didn't have this on before, the bash plate, Aluminium Sump guard, bash plate, whatever you want to call it. I do apologise about the dirt. I haven't had a chance to clean it, but I thought it's probably best to show it in a more realistic light of being used, especially in this time of year. Crash bars as well, which they were put on just before we did the Salisbury off-roading, which was a good thing we did put them on, because I think they did come in useful. Otherwise, the only other extra that I've put on recently are these fog lights, which they're pretty decent. They're halogen ones. They're quite effective, quite bright. And I've got to give Square Deals a shout out there for those. Square Deals, good site, good website. They do a lot of Triumph aftermarket bits. I'd actually ordered the Cree LED ones, which are black. I think they're black, and they look totally different to them. But they were cheaper, so I went for them first. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, they were actually out of stock, and for some reason the website still said they had stock. So I'd ordered them, and then I got an email from them saying, unfortunately, we don't have these. So I said, have you got the others? They're a bit out of my price range at the minute, but I'll probably, if you've got them, I'll see what I can do and buy them. Next thing I know, these turn up. These turn up with the courier for the same price that I bought the original LED ones for, and I'm very pleased with them. They are very good, and I think I might get another to put on the CRF, because the CRF definitely needs some lighting improvements on that. But no, they're pretty decent. I've got them all wired in. And they've got. Unfortunately, I wanted to use the proper Triumph fog light switch, but I've not been able to find the right one for this bike. I can find ones for the slightly newer models, but the wiring is completely different. So I've had to use the basic switch from the old fog lights that I had on before. Those old fog lights, by the way, they were like a £25 Amazon special LED. Yeah, they were rubbish, to be honest. So I wouldn't recommend them at all. Yeah, they didn't last too long before they started playing up. These seem to be very well made, and I'm quite pleased with the quality of those. What is our mileage? 52,000 miles, and the spanner on there is something I need to get looked at, because it has had a service, but the spanner's come back on early, so I need to just check that out, see why that's done that. It might have been from when I've disconnected the battery and things. It's probably reset its counter or something like that. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, still going good. 52,000 miles on the clock. There is a little bit of damage to report, actually. I'll go into some more details a bit later in the video, but I did drop this. When was it? It was only about 2 or 3 weeks ago. But I think any damage was either already there or not. I think I can't even see it now, but I think the crash bar caught a bit of it, and I got a little scuff on the end of the indicator there, and I think on the foot peg has a bit of a scuff on it, where it was first thing in the morning, quite cold, engine was running, got on it, went to pull away, and it stalled, and I couldn't quite hold it because I was sort of on a mid-turn as well, and it was just literally lowered it down to the ground slowly. But that's certainly not the worst thing that's happened to this, as we'll go on to explain later in the video. Okay, that's a walk around bit done. I think that's covered everything. Let's go for a ride and talk about it further. So that's the walk around bit done. Let's just talk about what it is like, or still like, on the road. Handling wise, everything is still fine. Comfort wise, it is still pretty much perfect. I can't really pick a fault, really. So there's been a few times when I've travelled up from the south coast up to Leicestershire to see my family up there, and quite often I can do that in one sitting. It's about, I think it's about 100 it's the best part of 200 miles, because I think if going just the motorways it's about 175 miles, but I like to, because I'm on the bike, I go a bit more of an interesting route, so it is more like 200 miles. And yeah, there's been a few times I've done that in one sitting without needing to stop, or feeling the need to stop and have a little break or a stretch or whatever. I've had no issues there. Of course, we've also done Cornwall a few times on the Tiger now. Again, that riding down to Cornwall, it would be on the road for hours on the way down there, and we'd stop in usually somewhere in Devon, usually for fuel or something like that, and it would just feel like you've just been out for a short little ride. You thought, I've just gone out for a ride for about an hour and a half, but no, you've been riding for like 3 hours. So yeah, it really doesn't, you can really eat the miles on one of these. It's brilliant. As for maintenance and servicing, I'm yet to tackle servicing myself. With this I do like to take it in to the garage for servicing, just because it would take me a lot longer than what it will take a professional to do it. I don't take it to Triumph anymore. Not that I don't have a problem with Triumph. If I could afford to, I would take it in for dealership servicing, because it's kind of like, the best. You get treated the best, don't you? You get a courtesy bike whilst yours is getting the work done and things like that. But dealership servicing is pretty pricey, to be fair, which is the same for most brands. So I take it to an independent garage now called Billy's Motorcycles up in Pulborough, and they're very good. They're very good and reasonably priced. In fact, they're pretty decently priced. So I'm going to Billy's Motorcycles for my servicing on the Tiger. Nice and easy around here because it's frosty. Could be ice on the road, we don't know. Don't want to slip on some black ice. Tyres, if I haven't mentioned already, these are Michelin PR5 trails. They're basically they're PR5s, but yeah, PR5s, can't fault them at all. They're excellent in all conditions. For the road, that is. Wouldn't recommend using them off-road. Because yes, we did take the Tiger off-road in Salisbury last year. It was a hell of a lot of fun. Crashing wasn't, but it survived. Okay, speaking of close calls, this Tiger has had probably more than its fair share of little crashes and abuse. Whilst we're here in traffic, let's have a look at a couple of the others. So the situation with that one was, okay, I shouldn't have gone for the overtake. Basically, what I thought was happening was, you see the van, he moves to the left as if to let me pass. I shouldn't have gone for that with the junction being on the right there, in case that very thing happened. That was a bit of a lapse in judgment on my side. However, he wasn't indicating, and he'd positioned himself over to the left. Therefore, my thought was, he's going straight on, he's moving to the left just to let me pass. That was, mistake on both parts there. Luckily, no one hurt. We both took a bit of damage for that one. That one did knock my steering out of alignment, The bike was still rideable. After that, I rode it to Destination Triumph, and they went through and put it through an inspection, straightened out the steering, and all was fine. The van, as you might see, you might have noticed, got a little bit battered because it's got a fill-shaped dent in the side of it. So yeah, as you see, the Tiger there, it's took a few knocks, and it lives to fight another day. It's definitely going to be a long-term bike for me, I think. I have no intention of getting rid of this anytime soon, because it does everything I want it to. I'm very happy with it. And it has got some stories to tell, that's for sure. I think that wraps it up for this one, so thank you all for watching. Hope that's useful to some people. Ride safe and all that. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.